Good afternoon, this is Pat Walker, Mission Winners. We're doing an ETF overview. You can say, why do we do this? Well, we have a limited amount of money. We have a limited amount of time. Why don't we use it wisely? Here's a fact. The vast majority of a stock's price movement is related to the industry group or the sector it's in. So why don't we analyze the sectors and get a big picture overview to see areas to possibly concentrate in, but also areas to avoid. That helps us make better decisions, helps us make more money, helps us control risk.
Hello, this is Owen. Hey, thanks a lot for watching our videos. If you've subscribed to us on YouTube, we appreciate it. If you follow Pat on what we call the big feed on Twitter, he's at Patrick Walker 56. Thanks a lot. We wanted to offer this to you. We didn't want to inundate you with another Black Friday email. You got enough of those. We're inundated with Black Friday deals all over. So we wanted to throw this out and say we're going to be raising prices in the coming weeks. But before we do that, we wanted to give you an opportunity to lock in $99 and you'll be able to keep that as long as you keep your subscription. So take advantage of it now. Sign up for $99, beat the price increase, and as long as you maintain your membership, you keep that $99 forever. Okay, we'll never raise prices on existing members. We just don't believe in it.
So here we go. Cloud computing. By the way, this is the 200-day, this is the 50-day, this is the 21 exponential and the 8 exponential. This baby's down to the 200-day. Yeah, it's bouncing and it may bounce, but you're not going to see this chart pattern in any book saying this is the high probability setup that you want to look for. Be careful with that. Cloud computing lost some leadership. Drive electric vehicles still trending up. Fell down a little bit here. A lot of things got hit hard here. Don't ignore that. Can't stress that enough. Don't be a hero. Wait for clean and simple. Again, autonomous vehicles driving down just a little bit, but the trend is still up. Dow Jones Internet. What does this tell you? That sucker's below the 200-day. Be careful with a lot of internet stocks. IB50 support on the 200-day. We don't want to have that lose the 200-day. I'm not saying it's going to, but that fell on heavy volume several days ago. You see that? That's heavy selling. Be careful with that. IBD50, great proxy for the big market leading stocks, the market leading stocks. Gold miners lagging below the 200-day. Leave it alone. Junior gold miners below a falling 200-day. Leave it alone. Gold cracking down. Look at this. Leave it alone. Just it's easy. Cybersecurity, another cybersecurity. Look at this. Dropping hard. You're not going to see this pattern in any book saying, this is what we look for. It's not there. Be careful with cybersecurity stocks. Biotechnology. Look at this. Gaps up, runs up, fades. Below the falling 200-day, leave it alone. Online retail. It's dead. There's nothing there. North American technology dropped hard. Bounced a little bit on Friday. Half day. We'll watch this and see what happens. IHI, Dow Jones Medicine, not so good. Look at this, below the 50-day. Fell on heavy volume. Not good. That was a half day, by the way, Friday. That's a half day, and look what it does. Check this out. Mid-caps hanging in there. Take note of that. Mid-cap stocks are hanging in there. Okay. Home construction, hanging in there. That's good to see. Take note of that. Maybe look at some home building stocks. This one owns a lot of the MAXLIST stocks. It's noted here. Okay. A little bit below the right here, the 21-day. But note this on less volume. Trend is still up. MAXLIST stocks, love them. Small cap. They spanked it. Be careful with small cap stocks. Airline stocks, dead. Nothing to do with it. Regional banks, hanging in. An area to possibly look at. Biotechnology, they're sick. Mid-cap, going sideways. Not losing its leadership. That's good to see. Roundhill Metaverse. That one's hanging in there. You could Google that and find out what they own, okay? The top 10 holdings, possibly. Oil services. Ugh. Be careful with that, folks. I mean, what's the trend? You want to know a great tactic? Take a picture of the chart. Put it up on the wall, or you can leave it on your computer screen nowadays, and just back up 10 feet and look at the chart and say, what's it doing? It's going down. Okay, fine, leave it alone. Online retail. Ugh. Look at this. Be careful with online retail. Infrastructure. That's hanging in there. It gapped down, but it didn't close that bad on Friday. Infrastructure, you could see what they own. Software, another software ETF. It bounced on Friday, and maybe it's going to bounce some, but the trend is down. I can pick the bottom. Lose the ego. Get in line with clean and simple. You'll do better for it with less stress. NASDAQ QLD, good proxy for the market. Look at this, trending up, down on heavy volume. Oh, not a bad day, but pretty heavy volume. Up on less volume, down on heavy volume. Folks, this is a half day and look what it did. So just be careful with QLD and the NASDAQ 100 stocks. QQQ, same situation. QLD, QQQ. There you go. Same situation. Leverage. Retailing is still good. The trend is up. Pulled back a little bit Friday. Not bad. Cloud computing, another cloud computing ETF below. Look at that volume. That ain't Aunt B selling. That's serious. Be careful with cloud computing. Silver, no leadership. Leave it alone. Steel, lagging. Really nothing special to do with it. Semiconductors are hanging in there. Now look at that. What does that tell you? Right there is worth the time of watching a video. Oh, maybe I should look at semiconductor stocks. There you go. Semiconductor, another one, fine. Spiders got hit. Look at this. Here's a telltale sign. First off, I made a video on this, pointing out the market internals. Upside and downside volume on the New York and the NASDAQ. New highs versus new lows on the NASDAQ in New York. You can see, the VIPs knew this. You could see last week the internals were deteriorating. It's like, be cautious. We're going to be selling into these things. We're not going to get sloppy. And look what happened Friday. UGG on heavy volume. Be careful with that. Continue onwards. SSO. No, this hasn't updated. Excuse me. There we go. Not so good, folks. The leverage one. Be careful. Solar stocks hanging in, but nothing really special. Small cap. Support on the 50-day. No, that's not too bad. Small cap. Uranium. A little choppy here. Be careful with that. Oil. Let's get the right chart here. We got to refresh this. Hold on. There we go. U.S. oil. There you go. Yeah, that's not so good, is it? That's going to leave a mark. So be careful. Tommy boy, right? That's not so good. Aerospace and defense, lagging. It's below a falling 200-day. Nothing to do with it. Home builders, still hanging in there. That's good to see. Materials, not too bad. Look at how it closed. It gapped down and closed in the top half of its range. Not too bad. Not great, though. You're not going to see this in any book saying, this is the setup you want to look for. Okay? Energy's hanging in there. There you go. But look what it did half-day Friday. Gap down. Now, here's a great lesson for you. Note the open, and I'm going to enlarge this for you. See the open? Gaps down, falls, and closes near the highs of the day. Now, I'm not saying buy it, but I am saying it demonstrated when the market got hit hard, it demonstrated some strength. There you go. Stuff we look at. Financials are hanging in. That's good to know. Find out what the leading financial stocks are. There you go. UGG, industrial sector. Let's refresh it to make sure we are looking at the right thing. Yes, that's a gap down. What's that say? Be careful with industrial stocks. Technology sector, XLK. We need to refresh this. There you go. Down. But is it that bad, team? Is it that bad? No. It's got some, I'm not saying buy it, but technology still has support on the rising 21 EMA. Technology. Love technology. Think about it. Do you want to go with the leading stocks, the stocks that change things? Well, most of them are technologically related. Okay, there you go. Consumer staples got hit here fairly hard on Friday. Still trending up, but again, lost below the 21-day EMA. Utilities, there's nothing really to do with that, okay? Just leave it alone. It tells you to stay with him. Consumer discretionary. Now look at this. The market got hit hard, but consumer spending, it's not that bad. I'm not saying it's going to stay there, but I'm saying at this point, it's not that bad. There you go. Metals and mining. That's a big gap down. Didn't close bad, but again, what's it tell you? Be cautious. Be cautious. Another oil one. Closed good, but man, it gapped down. Be careful with that. Be careful with that. Retailing. Drops down. Bounced off the 50-day. The retailers. Here we go. The trend is still up. Just be cautious. You can see Software. In 1 second, it says, dag nabbit, I better be careful with software. Yeah. That's why we make these videos. We knew it was weakening back here. And what were we doing? We were selling some stocks off, locking in profits, backing off buying in this sector. Now we have a great feel on areas of strength and weakness, areas to avoid. You just watch the price and volume action. It's telling you to be cautious, and it has. TNA, same situation. MDY, same situation. I'm not negative. I love the markets. I love stocks. But we observe and we let the action guide us. We don't have to forecast. It makes it much better for us. Here's FV, down, heavier volume, lost the 21-day. So you saw a theme there with the major index ETFs dropping on heavier volume. Let's take a look at the MAXLIST. First one, Apple, you say, oh, that looks pretty good. Note this, this is a good lesson. Rising on decreasing volume. Now that doesn't mean sell. It doesn't mean sell, but it means just be aware of what's going on. Refresh it, here we go. And it drops on a pickup in volume. And what do? We get lighter. We bought right here. You see that volume pickup, that clean and simple base? And it lifts up. That big tail bar, you're selling into that. All right? Do you sell it all? No, you don't need to sell it all. But by selling some into strength, you maximize gains, but also you control risk. Financial risk and mental risk. Amazon, here we go. Look at this. Down on heavy volume. Down. Inside bar on less volume. Gaps up. Runs up. And there were a lot of people that bought that. We didn't. Why? Because the market was acting bad. This is an inside bar. It takes out that inside bar's highs, runs up and reverses down on a pickup in volume. It's below the 21-day. Until the dust settles, you got to leave it alone. Alibaba, this one's just dead. Okay, there's nothing to do with this. All right, just leave it alone. I'm going to refresh a month here. Just leave it alone. There's nothing. It's below the falling 50-day. This is a great maxim for all of us. The air is better above the 50-day. The air is better above a rising 50-day. When it's below, just leave it alone. Don't force stuff. Makes it easier. Similar situation here. Lifts up, but note, it's below the falling 50-day. Leave it alone for right now. There's nothing to do with it. Facebook runs up, and I'm going to refresh this too, okay? Just to show you. Runs up and reverses and closes near the lows. Has no power on these bars. You see this bar right here? You can say, oh, look, it took out the previous bar's highs. There's no volume. There's no power. And on Friday, it falls right back down. There's nothing to do with it. Leave it alone. Google, down on heavy volume. Not as heavy as these days. Well, average daily volume. No power here. Up on no volume. Look at that. There's no power. And then they take it right back down on heavier volume in a half day. This is only a half day, folks, and look at the volume pickup. It's at the 50-day. Wait. Just wait. Goldman Sachs. Look at this. Runs up, goes up on less volume, reverses down on less, and then they take it down. Nothing to do with it. Leave it alone at this time. It's that simple. MasterCard. Ugh. It was telling you. Do you see this bar right here? You see the volume selling on that? Leave it alone. And then you can say, that's a bad bar too. Oh, it fell on increasing volume. And then it really falls hard. Just leave it alone for now. There's nothing to do with it. Microsoft, here we go. We'll refresh this. Our buy was down here. Okay, this, look at that. Right there. See that line? Clean and simple. What a great trend. And what are we doing? Selling into strength. Sell more on that reversal bar. Got lighter. Sold more. Are we still in this? Heck, we own it down here. Are we getting sloppy and complacent? No. We let rules and tactics guide us. Keeps falling, we'll lock in the rest. It's that simple. It works. Netflix, great buy. Watch this. Buys right here, more here. Great 10. Have sold into strength several times and locked in profits. It's still above the moving averages. Price alert set, and I'll do this. Here's a great lesson for all of you. I'm making this on a weekend. I'll raise that lower price alert just to see what happens. NVIDIA, the next one. Look at that run. Higher low setup. I want to show this to everybody. This will help you. This is something we do at Mission Winners. It falls. It lifts up. Okay? It drops. It drops. But note, this low is higher than this low. Right there on that bar. Up, quiet, inside bar on less volume. And I told the VIPs, if this takes out this highs on volume, that could be a buy. And it does it. Oh, no, excuse me. Inside bar on a slight pickup in volume. Inside bar. The tactics are still in place. And look, it takes off through that line on a pickup in volume. And we're in it. And it does this. And then it takes out the tops of that line right there. And we bought more. And it runs. I advised them to. And here you go. And this is where it closes. Last week. So, what do we do with it? Oh, it's still good. We've sold several times. If it keeps falling, we'll sell more. But there's a valuable lesson here. Clean and simple entries, nothing fancy, and trends pay. There were a lot of people that said, hey, I'm up here, I'm up 20 points. Or 30 points. I'm taking my gain. Yeah, and from here, okay, we'll call it 214 up to 340. Do the math. Most people like to make that much in a year. And by the way, they all don't do this, but it sure is nice what they do. And I love the MAXLIST. There we go. Now, what's it going to do next week? I don't know. I don't know the future. We'll watch it. If it loses the 8-day, we'll sell some more. That's all. Nothing fancy. Loses the 21, sell more, if not the rest. We manage them. Square. There's nothing good with this, and there hasn't been anything good with this. Here's a great investing maxim for all of you. VIPs and people who follow us on the big feed. The air is better above a rising 50-day. Okay? The air is better above the 50-day. Tesla, just chopping around. This was a great buy here and a great run. And sells. And now it's just chopping around. Bought it here, starts to lift up, starts to fade off. Sell it. Now it's just chopping around. And watch this. Let's get it right. There we go. Quiet inside bar on very low volume. If it can take out, we've still got some earnings coming out, not on Tesla, but on sister companies with them. If it takes out this bar in a good market on heavy volume, could be a potential buy. We'll watch it and see. Twitter. The tweets aren't helping. There you go. A lot of people say, man, what an innovative company, and everybody tweets all the time. This is really neat. This thing's going to go. Yeah, and it did. It went. Now, am I saying it's over for Twitter? No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying at this point in time, there's nothing to do with it. Just leave it alone. You won't find this pattern in any chart book saying, well, this is what you look for when you want to buy. Okay? No. And then we've got Visa. Nothing. See that? Choppy, sloppy. Visa. What's the sister stock to Visa? MasterCard. Choppy, sloppy. Sister stocks. Leave them alone. Anyway, I hope this helps you, and I hope you're all having a good holiday weekend, and I thank you.
Thank you for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit like. Maybe hit that subscribe button. We come up with new content nearly every day. Also, check out the videos on the right. YouTube recommends the one on the top, and the bottom one is something we thought you might enjoy. See you next time.